It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us down south to Mercedes-Benz Stadium on the west side of downtown Atlanta. And thanks for having us in. Mike Tirico, Greg Olson here as we get going with this one. Greg, you look at the matchup and one thing jumps out. And we see it more and more the last 5-6 years around the league. Rookie quarterbacks being given the keys and said, kid, let me see what you got.
Yeah, there's no waiting around anymore. It seems like more and more often, just like you said, we're seeing young rookie quarterbacks given the keys to the ship earlier and earlier. And a big reason for that is these coaches realize they don't have a long time to figure that quarterback position out. The longer it goes that you don't have the quarterback of the future, the more likely it is that the next guy that's drafted there, he's playing for a different coach.
The punter, Bradley Pinion, will handle kickoff duties. And off we go here in Atlanta. Here comes the all-pro returner from last year, Rashid Shaheed. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. So the Saints ready to go to work on offense for the first time. They're led out by their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Louisville.
I think we're seeing this so often now in the modern NFL is quarterbacks who can hurt you both improv as a scrambler and also with designed runs coming out of the huddle. So this is a tricky situation. Guys who can run with this kind of speed, you have to be very careful how you pass rush them. You're not just rushing to a spot. It's not just an X behind the center. You got to try to corral him and keep him in the pocket because when he escapes, big plays are to be had.
His throw on first down is going to be incomplete.
Well defended there. The quarterback's trying to attack this defense outside the numbers. Those really wide angle throws near the sideline sometimes can be very hard to defend. So give a lot of credit to this secondary. They were all on the same page and the ball falls incomplete.
Back to the air once more on second down. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up third down. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Remember what they told us, Mike, leading up to this game. They said it is so critical for us to find success, especially on third down. We want to maintain possession, extend these drives. Well, the first crack comes up and they fail through the air, and we're going to have to regroup and be able to have better success throughout the remainder of this game.
A fair catch called and taken right at the 30-yard line. The Falcons set to take over here on offense. They'll be led out by the lefty from the University of Washington. It's Michael Penix.
Mike, I remember the first time I watched one of his college games, and I was blown away. I mean, the accuracy. That ball looks like it's jumping out of his hand. He is physically talented. He's mature. He's played a lot of football. He has overcome a lot of adversity, man. That is a formula for success in the NFL. He might have to wait a little bit to find his time, but the more opportunities he gets like here in this one, I think he has a bright future.
They'll mark him down up at the 44-yard line.
Well, we knew coming into this one, Mike, that we were going to see a lot of this guy, and we knew we'd see a lot of him early. And if that first play is any indication of the rest of this game, this defense is going to have their hands full containing him.
1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Penix. A throw over the middle, and they can't connect. It's incomplete.
You know, there's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
Now Penix to throw on second down. Got his receiver on the in-cut. He's got it.
This is one of those throws where you're hoping you do most of the damage after the catch, but give credit to the defense. Once that ball was caught, they were on him quickly, and there was nowhere for him to go after the catch.
Here now, 3rd and 5. From the gun, here is Penix. He's got his... Oh, he doesn't put it away, and the ball's out. The Saints have got it. And now, following the turnover, we have an injured player on the field. The training staff going to look, and will step out for a moment. And he'll work forward for about 3. It's second down. First carry now for Alvin Kamara. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. To the air now on 1st and 10. He'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. Second and 7. Contact up front. Did they get one of the defenders to jump? He'll drop to throw. Throw left side, but that's going to be incomplete.
Timing and trust, critical elements of this quick passing game. If your target and the quarterback are not on the same page, it winds up being an incompletion and a wasted down.
Here's 3rd and 2. Now a handoff, the tight end in the running game. And he's going to have the first down. They'll mark him at the 29, but it's a new set of downs. First down picked up. They'll look to throw. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
Back to the air again on 2nd and 10. A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete.
This offense is doing everything they can to quiet this crowd, and Even though they missed on that long attempt, at least it sets the tone that they're going to continue to attack. If they can come up with a completion on one of those downfield passes, it's going to go a long way to settling themselves into this game.
On play action, he'll set up to throw. To the left side, in the hands of Hill. And a good job here defensively. They did not let him get away. He's well short of the first down marker.
I think this is one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the first down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks, and now they got a fourth down decision to make.
Rupee's kick is good. And the Saints will take a 3-0 lead.
And I think this is going to end up being considered a successful drive, Mike. I think obviously you would have loved to see them come down and convert and score a touchdown. But at the very least, they needed to come away with 3. They were able to do that and take a lead on that field goal.
So after the field goal to open up the scoring, the kicker's back out for this kickoff. Jamal Agnew now to return. A good return as he takes it across the 30. The Falcons offense ready to see what they can do on their second possession. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. The drive will begin here with a run by Robinson. And he's going to get this one out to the 43-yard line.
And a nice pickup there by the back with an explosive run play. And it's important to point out, Mike, this offensive play caller, he's still working off that opening script. It doesn't necessarily have to just be the first possession. Using formations, using run game and pass. Unmask the defense and understand where to take the play calling as the game unfolds.
Short throw taken by Pitts. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
It's not the big play they were hoping for, but first down efficiency, staying ahead of the chains, is what every offense is trying to find, and it brings up a manageable second down.
Here's a 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Penix. He's got this to Bijan Robinson. And he won't get away. Good open field tackle there to get him down behind the line.
We call them safeties because they're usually the last line of defense, but not here. On this play, he's up there at the line of scrimmage attacking the offense, and he takes him down for a negative play.
On 3rd down, Penix. He's got his man, right side, it's complete. And they're going to get this ball down to the 20-yard line.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone, and this is where you have to finish drives.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. He'll try the right side with Robinson. He'll take it into the red zone. It's at the 19. Here's a 2nd and 9. A run with Carter. And he'll only manage to pick up 3 yards. And that leads to 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Penix. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete. Trying to get it to Kyle Pitts. And that's going to lead to a 4th down.
We're starting to see a lot of this on third down, Mike, where they're going to rely on the run after catch to pick up these third down conversions. You know what that depends on? You have to actually complete the ball, and in this case, it falls incomplete, brings up fourth down.
Whose kick is good. And the Falcons will tie the game at 3 apiece.
And that's really well done here, Mike. I mean, everything's in rhythm. A good snap, a good hold, and a good kick ties this game.
So the field goal ties things up, and we're back at it as this kicks away. Here comes a return from the 5. And he'll bring it out to the 22-yard line. That's where the offense will take the field. The Saints offense getting set to get back to work. They'll set out in search of a first touchdown in this game. Just a pair of field goals to show. It's 3-3 as they start 1st and 10. They'll start this one on the ground with Kamara. And good blocking up front, paving the way for a gain of 8 on the ground. They'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. They're going to go right back to Kamara. And he is planted in the backfield. Defenders crashing through, blow up that play behind the line.
When you can get this level of run support out of your secondary, Mike, man, what an advantage for any defense. This defensive back clearly reads run, gets off his block, and he's able to take down the back for a loss of yards.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
This offense has to find a way to be better on 1st and 2nd down, Mike. Living in these 3rd and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
Here's the punter now. And he's on to punt for the 2nd time in this opening quarter. And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere. Here comes the Atlanta offense now. They get set to take over once more. All even here in this opening quarter. And the drive will begin with 1st down. They'll start this one with a 3 tight end look. They'll start on the ground with Robinson. And they'll bring this to about the 34-yard line. The Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu from the secondary on the stop. They face 2nd down and 7. Back to throw. Here's Penix. Work in the middle of the field, but that is incomplete.
Really nice job there by the defense defending the middle of the field. That is the most valuable real estate on the field. They know every single offense is trying to attack the defense between the hashes, so give credit. They took away all the throwing lanes, and that ball falls incomplete.
Throwing is Penix. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
And that's exactly how you teach it. They want these defenders to time the hit, that right when the ball gets there, you separate the receiver from the ball. And those are the ones on offense, man. You just have to make that catch, Mike. I know it's easier said than done, but you know the hit's coming. You've got to squeeze that thing, brace for impact, and make that play for your offense.
Now out comes the New Orleans offense. They're ready to take over once again. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. start on the ground, and he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4. Here's 2nd and 6. On the give, this is Kamara. This will be a Saints first down as he gets this up past the 40-yard line.
2nd down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass, and I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they leave a little too much room on the ground, and the offense is able to pick up a first down.
On first down, they'll stay with Kamara on the ground, and he'll get about 6 there, setting up 2nd down. Throw to the right flat. It is caught. And it'll be a short pickup. That's not enough for the first down. Don't need much. It is 3rd and inches. From the 50, he'll set up to throw. A gain there of 11. It's good for a Saints first down.
Every staff in the league that understands if we have to play a rookie quarterback, regardless of their talent, regardless of how high they were drafted, the ideal situation is to fill that huddle with as many veteran players as possible. The quarterback's going to be young. He's going to make some mistakes. The more veteran, talented guys around him, the easier it is to weather those mistakes.
Back to throw. And that one's incomplete, but a late flag comes in. Looked like he might have gotten there early. So a big 3rd down hookup takes us to the break. All even, 3 apiece, the score. Greg and I back in Atlanta after this. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. They motion the slot man left. They'll work the middle here with Kamara. He'll work forward for a couple. Hayden Ellis in on that stop. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. They'll go again here with Kamara. Only a couple on that one. It'll set up 3rd down. They'll throw out of the gun. Open man is Shaheed. That's complete. And he will have the first down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
First time these two have connected this afternoon, and it'll wind up being a first down.
This is like a textbook, methodical, efficient NFL drive. 4 for 4 throwing the ball, mixing in some run. You're just marching the ball downfield at your will, and they get a fresh set of downs now to see if they can convert this nice drive into some points.
To the outside, that's caught by Hill. After the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9.
These are the play calls, Mike, that offensive coordinators use to just get their quarterback and their passing game into some sort of rhythm. Easy pitch and catch, get the ball out of his hand, see a completion. These typically, as the game goes on, lead to bigger and bigger gains.
Kamara going to try to bull his way in. He slams it in there, and he is in. Alvin Kamara, touchdown Saints. Good drive. They kept the ball. Greg, they moved it effectively down the field and finish it off on the ground for the touchdown.
So often, Mike, we see teams work on a great drive to get down here close, only to settle for a field goal. But in this case, give them a lot of credit. They put a great drive together, but they're able to capitalize and finish it off with 6.
Groupie able to add the extra point. The Saints take a 10-3 lead. After the touchdown, it's Groupie to kick this one away. Agnew on the return. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Falcons offense ready to take over once more. Just the lone field goal for them so far, down 10-3 in this one. And they'll start 1st and 10. Looking to throw, it's Penix. Over the middle, that's his tight end, Pitts. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. Here's Penix. And that one knocked away. It's incomplete.
I think the biggest issue and why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the ups and downs of this passing game. At sometimes, he's highly accurate and efficient, but at others, he just misses too many easy throws. Question is, are they going to be able to overcome this quarterback inconsistency and pull this game out?
Penix on 3rd down. He'll try and get there on the ground. They get the conversion on 3rd down. It was a gain of 27.
There was a lot of questions surrounding this quarterback about whether his style of play from college would transfer to the NFL game. Well, his ability to create with his legs certainly has here today. We see it with his ability to escape pressure out of the pocket, and he's able to pick up the 1st down.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. On the ground, it's Robinson. And they'll take this down inside the 35.
It's not just the blockers creating yards for him out there. He created most of that yardage on his own, shrugging off the initial tackle attempt and continuing to rumble downfield.
On 1st down, it's Penix. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Up until that incompletion, they've done a really nice job on this drive, Mike, picking up fresh sets of downs. And typically, throwing the ball on 1st down is a great way to do it. But now they find themselves in 2nd and 10. Do you keep it in the air and try to get the 1st down here? Or is the idea to just make 3rd down manageable and take your chances picking up a key 3rd down?
And a nice tackle in the open field limits the gain to only 1. "21" is the line to gain as we hit third down. Out of the shotgun, it's Penix. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Well, it's pretty clear the main reason why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the inefficiency of this offense and primarily out of the quarterback position. I mean, to complete less than half of your pass attempts, it just makes it very hard to compete at a high level consistently in the NFL. And if they want to find themselves having any chance of getting back into this game and winning this one, he's going to have to get a lot better with the ball. And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. This taken at the 5. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. The Saints offense and veteran Alvin Kamara set to take over once more. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This to the right side, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
So on a day where he's completed, give or take half of his passes, Mike, you have to imagine there's a handful of throws he'd like to have back, and I think that last one falls in that category. But the biggest thing, and most fortunately for them, they find themselves with a lead despite a bit of an up-and-down performance out of their quarterback.
And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete.
He just rushed that decision just a little bit downfield. I mean, it's one thing to trust your guy to make a play in tight coverage, but I think if he was a little bit more patient in his progression, there was an easier throw out there that wouldn't make him have to throw such a tight window ball and put his receiver in a tight spot.
Open man, left side, he's got it. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
Third downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on third downs, that is a recipe for success.
They'll run on 1st down with Kamara. Nice job finding the seam. Gain of about 9. Just a yard short of that 1st down. Second and a yard. They'll turn and hand this one off. And he's going to pick it up and take it down inside the 35 for the 1st down. Now they'll set up to throw. That's going to be pulled in by Kamara. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
All right, so there's really 3 areas that a modern NFL running back has to excel at. Number one, the traditional handoffs. Number two, you have to be excellent and reliable in pass protection, and maybe bigger than all of them, you have to be at least serviceable out of the backfield in the passing game.
Shaheed with the catch. Now they are in business inside the 15-yard line.
You can see this connection is just starting really to pick up. They're seeing the game through the same set of eyes, and that is the job of the receiver. What is my quarterback expecting from me? Where does he want me? Be there on time, and it leads to big gains like this.
He'll go left side here and complete this one. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards. Second down and 3. A tight end in motion now. Up the middle they go. And he'll take this one forward for about 3, and that's a first down.
I think this second down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a third down and short. But there's no need for third down. He was able to get enough on second, and they get a fresh set of downs.
This has been some kind of march downfield now. Can they pay it off with 6? It's first and goal. And he's in. Taysom Hill. Touchdown, New Orleans. On comes Blake Grupe for the PAT. He's got it. And the Saints are able to extend the lead. It's now 17-6. After the touchdown, it's Grupe to kick this one away. Ray McLeod on the return. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. Here's Bijan Robinson and the Falcon offense set for their next drive. The deficit is double digits, so work to do as they begin this drive with 1st and 10. London brought in motion. And here comes Robinson on a toss to the right. Nothing doing there. He'll go down behind the line.
Well, as been the case this entire first half, it's been the defense that's really carried the load for this team. Some offensive struggles, but they've done more than their part, coming through again with another big stop for a loss.
Now, whistles here. Looks like one of the defenders got a head start. Pitts is the man in motion. Now Penix to throw on second down. That's to Pitts, the tight end. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
So the hope is when you call these underneath drag routes, you're trying to have your tight end come out the backside of the defense in space. So when you put the ball on him early, it leads to big yards after the catch. In this case, they don't get the real big play they were hoping for, but they'll definitely take it.
And this ball incomplete on third down.
And barring an aggressive decision here on fourth down, it just seemed like a really wasted possession to go 3 and out, not able to pick up a single first down. Not only do you not able to gain any field position advantage, it really takes a lot of the wind out of your sails as you find yourself jogging off the field and the punt team coming on.
A fair catch signaled and taken at about the 18-yard line. The Saints offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. They built a nice lead for themselves here. They'll try to add to that, beginning with first down. A give up the middle with Kamara. And he finds some space, tackled after a gain of 7 on first down. Here's 2nd and 3 to go. Two minutes remain here in this first half. Greg and I back to Atlanta in a moment. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. They'll motion a tight end right. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. That's over the middle and intercepted. And he's going to set up his guys with great field position. A huge chance to cut into the deficit.
Mike, that's a great play for any defensive back, let alone an undrafted rookie. I mean, to think that every single team passed on him in this past year's draft multiple times is pretty hard to believe. And again, this is the growth. This is the development that they saw when he signed there as an undrafted free agent. And he has taken advantage of every opportunity he's been given. And now he's creating turnovers for this unit.
Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. From the gun, here is Penix. He's going to tuck it and go. And he will take this into the end zone. What a run! Michael Penix. Touchdown Falcons. That one is going to hurt the defense. He's looking to throw, can't find anyone, takes off, and Greggy takes it the distance for an exciting touchdown run.
And these are the plays, Mike, that just drive defensive coordinators crazy. You have all of his targets covered up, nowhere to go with the ball, and next thing you know, he gets out of the pocket, takes it all the way with his legs. He's just as dangerous with those feet as he is with his arm.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. He fields it at the 8. And he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Saints offense ready to come back out for this next possession. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. He'll go right and find his running back. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. One of the tight ends in motion right. On play action, he'll set up to throw. This throw right side is caught by Hill. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a first down.
And these are the throws that when they evaluate young quarterbacks coming out of college, they want to see you be able to make. Everyone worries about how far you can throw the ball, and while that's certainly important, to be able to make the throws from sideline to sideline, especially in those intermediate zones, drive the ball through space, because in this league, an open window is going to close in a hurry. Here in the first half, we've seen nothing but connections from these two guys. I mean, they've come out completely on fire, so the defense finally gets a stop, and really the first time we've seen these guys be a little bit off.
They'll try again here, 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw yet again. They'll try to set up the screen here. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down. So now the Saints will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Third and 6. He'll look to throw. That's over the middle and taken in. He's got it. And he's going to have a first down. They get into field goal range here at the 29.
Rookie to rookie right there, Mike. And I'll tell you what, they've got some really good young pieces on this roster.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. He'll look middle here, and there's Olave. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. Putting one of their tight ends in motion left. This is caught at the 2. To the goal line and in. Chris Olave. Touchdown, Saints.
Just a really nice job, Mike, especially just staying poised. Pressure situation, you know how important it is to steal some points before the half, but everybody's in control. Everybody understood the situation and the clock, and they're able to finish that half in style with that late touchdown.
Group B now, on for the extra point. He knocks it through. The Saints add on one more as they extend their second quarter lead. So, still the matter of 6 seconds remaining in this half. And the kick's away. This one is fielded in the end zone, but he will not bring it out. It's a touchback, and this drive will begin at the 30-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Penix. is incomplete. One final chance does not work out. Time has expired. The first half has come to an end.
All right, Mike, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our halftime report. We just watched a solid first half from the veteran running back, Alvin Kamara. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break. These two teams ready for the second half, and so are we. So let's get you back out to Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
All right, Coach, second half, drawing near. Glad to have you back with us here on EA Sports. First half played out a bit as we expected. We'll see if there's a surprise coming up. Both teams set to go, and the second half is underway. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. The Falcons offense ready to get going again. They'll have it first in this third quarter. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. Pitts is the man in motion. Now the lefty Penix on 1st down. Oh, a lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete.
You hear quarterback coaches say it all the time. Let's get our guy easy completions. Well, that falls certainly into that category, Mike, but when you fail to connect on those, it just ends up being a wasted down.
On 2nd down, it's a run with Robinson. The defense all over this one. They get him behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a couple.
The speed and the get-off by the big interior defensive tackle, Mike. I mean, he got through there so fast, he almost took the handoff himself.
3rd and long. From the gun on 3rd down. Here's Penix. He's going to let this one go deep. He's got it! And he'll be taken down at the 10-yard line.
They really showed off their connection on that pitch and catch, Mike, and just really good ball placement and really good separation downfield. And when those two things align, it's just really challenging for a defender to stay with them and take that play away.
Well, a chance to get right back in it here. 1st down and goal. London brought in motion. They'll run with Robinson. And he's fighting and trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not do it. This is going to be a loss of a yard.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning 1st down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
Contact up front. Did they get one of the defenders to jump? Penalty yards marched off, and they'll try it again on 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's Penix. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
Big play coming up, 3rd and goal. Looking to throw, it's Penix. Taking up to the pylon, he's in. Michael Penix. Touchdown, Atlanta. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon. Greg, sometimes we say it too often. That was an important drive. That one really felt important for them to edge a little bit closer.
Yeah, now the question is, Mike, yeah, the offense does their job, but can the defense get a stop? They've got to continue to get the ball back to their offense. Let them build on that previous drive because they've still got some work to do.
Now Penix. That's pulled in, and they're able to tack on the two-point conversion.
Everything's about matchups, especially down here this close to the goal line. I think my guy's better than your guy. I'm going to put him in a position to have success, throw it up to him, and let him do the rest.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. A return now from the 4. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for their next possession. And we run you through the highlights here. It has been a very big performance from the quarterback position, instrumental in leading and executing, and now trying to finish strong and take his team to the finish line. First and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. Throw right side to Olave. That's a nice pickup on a first down throw. It's a gain of 8.
Defense does a nice job here initially using zone coverage to take away the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. Quarterback gets off his first read, sees some openings to the sideline, and him and his receiver are able to connect.
It's a give now to Kamara. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
So often when it comes to safeties, Mike, we talk about their speed and their range. But for him to be able to come up and make a tackle and be physical at the point of attack and keep this ball carrier to no gain, that's pretty impressive.
We'll try and run for this with Kamara. And he is going to have the Saints first down by about a yard. So they pick it up on 3rd and 2.
In real time from up here, Mike, I couldn't tell whether or not he got it at first glance, but I think after seeing the replays we have up here, it looked like he and his blockers got just enough, and they're going to be able to keep this drive alive.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And a good effort there defensively. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Throughout this entire game, we've really seen this quarterback operate very efficiently, not only being able to spread the ball to multiple playmakers, Mike, but really complete a high percentage of his passes. So can't let that last incomplete break what's been a really nice rhythm so far.
Back to the air again on 2nd and 10. He'll look middle here. It's caught by Hill. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
What a luxury that certain teams, when they have a guy like this, I mean, not only is he the big target, but then to have that size and speed to run away from these linebackers and do so much of his damage after the catch.
A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. His pass taken in by Shaheed. That's a gain of 11, and they'll move the chains with another first down.
Now, so far here today, putting points on the board certainly hasn't been a problem, and plays like that are why. Think about it, Mike. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you and not force something that's not there. And that mid-range pass results in a fresh set of downs.
To the left side, in the hands of Hill. Here's a 2nd and 6. Back to the air one more time. Quick throw, out wide, it's caught.
This pitch and catch may have looked routine, but I promise you, Mike, these types of anticipatory throws, especially outside the numbers, they don't occur without countless reps, oftentimes when nobody's even watching.
Here's 3rd and 2. They'll throw out of the gun, and that is incomplete.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
The field goal unit on the sideline. They'll line up to go for it on 4th down. From out of the gun, he'll throw to the left side into the hands of Olave.
And this is the blueprint, Mike. The ability to sustain and maintain possession and methodically move the ball down the field in the process. The defense has had no answers up until this point, and now the next step is, can they come away with 6? Because anything less than that, after this long drive, would be a bit of a letdown.
And that'll be good for about a half dozen. It'll set up 2nd down. They'll look to throw. That's to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's one he'd love to have back. An opportunity to score 6 was right there for the taking. Just wasn't quite meant to be.
Important one here. Want to keep this drive moving. Got to pick up 3rd and 4. Back to throw. This one caught at the 4. And he'll take it on in. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Mike, we used to have a saying that it was the responsibility of the receiver to run the route through the eyes of the quarterback. And I think this is a great example here. 2 guys clearly on the same page. Quarterback expected his target to be in a certain place at a certain time. He's there, ball's delivered accurately. He's able to pick up the rest with his legs, and that's a big-time connection for the touchdown.
Groupie now for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Saints will extend this 3rd quarter lead. After the touchdown, it's Groupie to kick this one away. McLeod now to return. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Falcons offense and Michael Penix getting ready for their next possession. And he has been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been picked apart. That is borne out in those impressive numbers. He has been terrific all game long. Here's 1st and 10. The drive will begin here with a run by Robinson. He'll move the pile forward. Let's give him a couple. Ryan Brzee there for the tackle. Second down and 8. From the gun, here is Penix. Quick throw here is complete. And they'll mark him down just shy of the 40.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of. They got a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start.
And he is going to be stuffed well behind the line of scrimmage. That play going absolutely nowhere.
You have to wonder if next time does the play caller give his quarterback some options to check out of this play. It was clear before the ball was snapped. This was not a great look for that play call, and you can see the end result.
Another run here for Robinson. A nice pickup moving it across the 40. We'll give him 6 on that play. Here's 3rd and 7. Out of the shotgun, it's Penix. He'll try to run for it.
This is an element that defensively you always have to be ready to defend. You can't just accept that it's a pass and be so consumed with the receivers downfield. You have to account for the quarterback as a scrambler. You can see why, as he's able to get out of the pocket and pick up the first down.
He'll send a tight end in motion right. And here's Bijan. And they'll take this down inside the 35.
Finding yourself down here, multiple scores in the second half. The defense is going to give you some friendly run looks. So don't be afraid to mix it in there. But if you're going to find yourself coming back from this deficit, you're going to have to do it primarily through the air with just a little bit of mix of the run.
A run with Carter. And this rough day on the ground continues. They're going to drop him behind the line again.
Great job by that linebacker timing his blitz. He didn't give any indication to the offense that he was coming, and he's able to get through that hole and take the ball carrier down for a loss.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12. Here's Penix. And it's complete to the sideline. Nice job getting both feet down inbounds.
This is why the timing of these routes is so critical. If that ball is thrown a little bit later, he's unable to keep his feet in bounds, but instead the quarterback is on time and accurate, and the receiver does a nice job not only securing the catch, but ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
Pitts is the man in motion. Penix on 3rd down. He'll look middle, and he's got his man complete.
3rd and inches, you see a lot of teams try to take a shot. Why, Mike? Because they know on 4th and inches, they still have a chance to convert the first down. The shot wasn't there, but they're still able to pick up a nice gain and convert and bring up first down.
Line of scrimmage is the 15. It's 1st and 10. On the handoff, here's Robinson running right. And that'll be a pickup of 3. So a lot of options on the table now. It's 1st and 5. London brought in motion. On the handoff, it's Robinson. And he'll get back maybe to the line of scrimmage, but probably going to be a loss of a yard here.
This is what every defense in the league is shooting for, Mike. Negative plays. That's how you kill drives. Force teams to play from behind the sticks. Great job here, taking them down for a loss.
Here's 2nd and 6. On the run, here's Carter. And it'll be a pickup of 3, so third down forthcoming. Back to throw. Here's Penix. That's caught. Left side. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds here on what will wind up being the final play of the third quarter. They keep finding ways to keep this drive alive, and they're set up now for first and goal. Here's a designed run, and he will score again. Michael Penix, touchdown Falcons. Greg, they are pecking away at this one now. Very big touchdown. Gets them right within reach of pulling this comeback off.
Well, Mike, at the very least, they've given themselves a chance, but can they get a stop and get the ball back again for a chance to go down and really make this one interesting?
Here's Coop for the extra point. The kick is good. Important extra point. The difference is just 3, a field goal here in the fourth quarter. They've cut into the lead, now just a field goal behind as they kick it off. On the return, it's Rashid Shaheed. Terrific return. He's taken down just shy of midfield. The visitors' offense back onto the field for their next possession. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. A throw here, right side, falls incomplete. They'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Now they'll set up to throw. This throw right side is caught by Hill.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
On third down, they'll set up to throw. He manages to get the throw away and completes it. 12 yards on that hookup. First down, New Orleans.
So this is a part of the game that everybody works on, Mike. They call it 4-minute offense, and you don't necessarily have to have 4 minutes on the clock, but the whole idea is we possess the ball late in the fourth quarter with the lead. The goal is we want to end the game with the ball. So that third down conversion is going to go a long way. Protect the ball, continue to pick up first downs. If they do that, I don't even think their opponent sees the ball again.
They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. He'll look to throw. Who else? Another catch for his favorite target. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the 4th quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super conservative, just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock out.
They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. Throwing now from the gun. Throwing left side there, but it is incomplete. Chris Olave, the intended receiver. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They couldn't quite connect there on that short pass, Mike, and I just think it's worth reminding everyone how different the concepts are down here in the red zone than what the rest of the game plan calls for in the normal part of the field.
One of the tight ends motions right. Now, faking the give. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Here's the quarterback doing everything in his power to extend this play, and none of his guys could get open. You got to see someone separate, work with your quarterback, go into scramble second reaction mode, and it also gives some credit to the back end doing a nice job plastering with their assignment, and he had no choice but to throw it away.
And this one, right down the middle. It's good. So it is still a 1-score game, but a little more breathing room now.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
He made the field goal a moment ago. Now Groupie back out to kick it away. Agnew on the return. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far leading this offense, keeping the mistakes to a minimum, on point with his passes, generally one step ahead of the defense all game long. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Play action. It's Penix. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
He decides to go with this safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
On 2nd down, here's Penix. The ball deflected at least a couple of times, but it'll fall to the ground. It's incomplete.
There was no hesitation from the quarterback. From the jump, he knew where he wanted to go with that ball, but it still leads to an incompletion. They're just still not quite on the same page.
On 3rd down, Penix. A throw on the run is complete. And a good short tackle right there. It stops him a good distance short of the marker. It sets up 4th down. The Falcons getting their punter out there. They'll be forced to punt, trailing here in the 4th quarter. And not much doing there. They made sure he would not get free. The visitors' offense ready to get back at it. They work with a 6-point advantage as they start this drive on 1st and 10. back to throw here to begin the drive. That's going to be pulled in by Kamara. That's a nice pickup on a first down throw. It's a gain of 8. Here's 2nd and 2. Now Kamara. And that'll give him a first down. Tackle made after the pickup of 3.
This is a situation that play callers love to be in, Mike. They have all their options on the table. 2nd and short, play action pass, you can run. In this case, they choose to keep it on the ground, play it safe, pick up the first down.
On first down, they'll stay with Kamara on the ground. And some space opens as he's brought down following a gain of 6. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. He'll drop to throw. He'll swing this one out wide to his running back. And they get this one across midfield to the 47-yard line.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
So they come to the line for first down and 10. A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete.
Seems like the quarterback was a little predetermined in his read. I think he decided even before seeing the coverage where that ball was going. Next time, read the coverage. Let the play unfold. Don't force something that's not there.
That one pinballs around, but it is incomplete. This crowd into it now as we get to third down. They'll send a tight end in motion. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to get away, and he's going to go down.
As this clock continues to tick, we're getting dangerously close here to do-or-die territory. But after that third down sack, real good chance of getting off the field. No points allowed. Let's see if their offense now can do their job, because defense certainly did theirs.
The Saints lining up in punt formation as they try to play the field position game here, protecting a fourth-quarter lead. A fair catch called for and made just beyond their own 15. The Falcons offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end trying to come up with a way to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those into big plays. Now the lefty panics on first down. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete. They'll try again here, 2nd and 10. They'll run it here with Robinson. Maybe a couple there, It's third down. From the gun on third down, here's Penix. And that is incomplete. Drake London was the intended receiver there. And it's going to be fourth down.
Can't exactly put my finger on it, but it just seems like this entire game, like this passing game and this quarterback specifically, they've just been off. And whether it's missing these big shots downfield like he did there or just simple underneath layups, there's just something about him today that doesn't look right, and I think it's a big part of the reason they find themselves trailing here in the fourth quarter.
And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The Saints offense and their running back set to go once more. And it's hard to believe you can run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, the stats. It has all been on display throughout. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. They'll start this one on the ground with Kamara. A gain of 4 as he's taken down. In motion is Hill. They'll look to throw. There's that man again. Another catch. Third and a yard. On the handoff, it's Kamara. Pickup of 11 yards on that one. It's good for a Saints first down.
And this running game has really been rolling, Mike, all game long. The holes, the run lanes, they've been there consistently. Here's another nice run as they look to put this game away.
We'll go 3 tight ends here on first and 10. They'll go again here with Kamara. Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's second down. Back to throw. Gets it away quickly, and it's caught.
This is a great example here of just not getting too complicated as an offensive coordinator. Who's one of your best players on the field, and how do you get the ball in his hands?
Now a third and 2. He's got his man. That's Olave. 11 yards on the connection there. First down, New Orleans.
These curl routes, he's been running these routes since he was a young kid in Pop Warner football, and I like to call it pulling the string. You've got the defender thinking you're going downfield, and you stick that foot in the ground, work back to the quarterback, friendly to the ball, and really nice job picking up the first down.
Now, whistles here. Looks like one of the defenders got a head start. Right back to Olave. He's got it again. And this drive's going to continue. They bring him down, but not before he picks up first and goal for his team.
Not a whole lot complicated about this play, Mike. That was understanding where the holes of the defense were. Remember, in this zone coverage, you got to find green grass. Get past the first down marker, be friendly to the quarterback, and then the ball has to be out on time before those zone defenders can react to the receiver. It's exactly how it played out here. You can drop all the
He's got his big tight end. Taysom Hill. Touchdown, Saints. That is second touchdown of the afternoon. Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the fourth quarter, get the ball with the lead and extend it to a 2-score advantage.
Yeah, and I think this just might end up being too much to overcome. You said it. Once you get a 2-score lead this late in the fourth quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had to claw yourself back in it.
Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. And he's going to be stopped in the backfield. Taken down back at the 3.
So they decide to put the ball in the air, which I don't mind on this 2-point try, but their execution was just a little bit off, and it's not going to work out in their favor this time around.
After the touchdown, it's Groupie to kick this one away. Agnew on the return. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now. They get set to take over once more. They'll do so with 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Penix. Off left side, but it's incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
On second down, Penix. That one taken in by London. And he'll be taken down as the clock ticks towards 2 minutes to play. 15-yard pickup there. It's good for a Falcon first down. They'll drop to throw. Now a screen going to be set up for Robinson. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
Just a little slow developing on that screenplay there. It was pretty obvious to the entire defense exactly what was going on. Nobody was thinking pass. Nobody was getting back into their drops, and just nowhere for that back to go.
Throwing again, it's Penix. And that one knocked away. It's incomplete.
A great pass rush is like a closer in baseball. When you bring them into the game, it's all but over. And that's exactly the case here. It doesn't result necessarily in a sack, but it was the hit that altered the throw just enough to end that play before it started.
To throw again, it's Penix. To the outside. Catch made by London. Nice job there defensively to keep him in front of the marker. It's going to bring up 4th down.
Outbreaking routes, Mike, especially outside of the numbers, everything is about the timing. If you're late with the throw, you're going to be watching that defensive back take that thing the other way for 6.
That's caught. Left side. It's complete.
Offensively, landing a lot of body blows on this drive, Mike. Just the ability to steadily march the ball downfield and remain so efficient, both run and pass. As they continue to wear this defense out, they have to find a way to end this drive with points. Anything short of that will be a bit of a letdown.
Again, it's Penix. That'll be caught by the running back Robinson. Second and 6 coming up. Penix gonna throw again. Now, deep ball for London. He's got it! No touchdown, but they are close. Gonna be first and goal. They've got it at the 3. Now, first and goal. From the gun, here is Penix. And this throw out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
They went for it all on that one and just a little bit off. Ball winds up hitting the ground. They've got to move forward. The opportunities are out there. Better execution, better location, and they got some big plays in their future.
Now Penix to throw on second down. That's out to the flat, and it's complete. And he's going to go backwards on that one. They take him down back at the 6-yard line. Two plays at their disposal, but they'd love to get it right here on third and goal. From the gun, it's Penix. That is incomplete. And here we go. They're down to what could be their final play. It's fourth down.
In these critical moments of the game, Mike, you always turn to your best players, and that's exactly what they did here, and they just weren't able to connect. Give this defense a lot of credit. They knew when it was crunch time, where did this quarterback want to look? And they were ready, and they took him away.
And that is incomplete. They had their chance. They took it there. Look, they're trailing late. Got to let it fly. This will wind up a turnover on downs. Now, out comes the New Orleans offense. They're ready to take over once again. We'll see how they want to attack things here, backed up deep in their own end. It's first and 10. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. On first down, they'll start out with Kamara. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets a yard out of that one. It's second down. They're going to go right back to Kamara. And he nearly got free. But as it is, gain of 6, and it sets up third down. So this one a win for the visiting Saints. This was a game where both offenses were up and down the field, marching the ball at will, matching each other point for point. But in the end, they got a few more defensive stops than their opponents did, and that was the difference in this one. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. So long, everybody.